everyone, so this is Julie aka Mars Mustang, and today I'm going to be doing a video on the new Pokemon titles that were just announced officially through the release of Nintendo's trailer yesterday. So Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. I have lots of thoughts on these new titles and what we were shown through the trailers, so if you're a fan of the Pokemon world, the Pokemon gaming world, tune in. We're going to get all into that in this video. First of all, what kind of craziness is that Nintendo randomly drops this trailer for two new Pokemon titles randomly yesterday? I was not expecting that. If anything, I was expecting any, sort of new title announcements or release information, stuff like that would only be happening at E3, not before. So I was very surprised by that, was not expecting that at all, and I don't think anyone really was either. In terms of the titles themselves, the concepts, the Pikachu, the Eevee, I had heard of this previously, but it was murky at that point. People were unsure if it was just a rumor, fabrication, or basically if it was referring to the 2019 core RPG that we were already sort of made aware of in the past. So the whole concept of launching these two titles in 2018 and them being separate from the core RPG we knew of, I don't really think was being discussed much at the time. It was more, is it the 2019 RPG we know about, or is it fake, kind of? So I knew of it, but I mean, I did not know much about the execution anyway. So yeah, overall, very much surprised. So yeah, let's get into it. I think the graphics are very clean, very beautiful, and they're also nostalgic. They remind me of sort of an upgraded version of the look that I am accustomed to, that I have been accustomed to as a kid. So in that regard, I'm liking that very much. I think it's going to look beautiful on the Switch, on the big screen TV. I think it's going to look really lovely. Um, the trailer also makes reference to my first or your first adventure. So to me, this is clearly, as was discussed before anyway, a remake of Pokemon Yellow, the original game that, the original Pokemon fans got to play. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun in that regard. I'm very biased. So as much as I do like the new content and I do look forward to new generations and stuff like that, bringing back the generations that I grew up with is a big sell for me. So I am liking that concept a lot, a lot, a lot. On top of that, if I was to say what Pokemon title I enjoy playing the most, I would probably tell you that it was either Soulsilver or Heartgold. I really loved those titles because it gave me a visually updated version of a game that I grew up with, a game that I loved, and it just hit all the right spots for me. So, similarly with this game, I'm hoping it does the same and that it's a title, or a set of titles, I should say, that I can really cherish and really grow to adore. That is my hope right there. Similarly to Soulsilver and Heartgold, actually, the trailer makes reference to the Pokeball Plus, a little Pokeball attachment that you can buy separately that you can use in game to throw a Pokeball at your Pokemon in the game, and that you can also use, from what it seems like, to walk Pokemons that you have caught in game and interact with them in the real world. It reminds me a lot of the Pokewalker that came with the Soulsilver and Heartgold game. It's a cute idea. I don't see it catching on. I think it's just going to be a gimmick that will exist solely for these set of games. I don't see it catching on that much, but cute idea, I guess. I'm very meh on it. I don't hate it. I don't love it, I guess. But yeah. I don't know how I feel about integrating Pokemon Go into a Pokemon RPG video game on the Switch. I do like Pokemon Go for what it is. It has a lot of glitches and a lot of problems for an app, but it's still fun and I can handle what it is for a mobile device like my iPhone. But to bring those problems potentially into a Pokemon RPG, which is something I consider a pretty much flawless formula, kind of not having good first impressions with that idea, or of that idea, I should say. So we'll see how that turns out. It's never been done before, so I can't really be like all too harsh about it, but I don't like the sound of it personally, but we'll see how it ends up. Um, One thing that I feel I should point out that's kind of a problem with me so far, from as seen in the trailer, is that when catching Pokemons in the game, it looks like they're just going to be using the method or the concept from Pokemon Go, which is you throw Pokeballs and you hope for the best. You either catch it or you don't. And it seems they're using that and replacing, catching a Pokemon that we've always had in previous games where you're able to battle the Pokemon to lower their health points to inflict status damage, perhaps, by paralyzing Pokemon, putting them to sleep, burning them, poisoning them, whatever you need to do to catch it. It doesn't look like we'll be getting those things, and I don't know if I like that at all. If they're going to be using the Pokemon Go approach for a Pokemon RPG remake of Yellow for the Switch, I am not going to like that at all, and I hope they do fix that. I have to point that out because, yeah, I noticed that, and it's a huge problem for me. So, yeah, those are my immediate thoughts after having watched the trailer for Pokemon Let's Go. I saw a lot of people immediately kind of reacting negatively to these titles, mainly for the integration of Pokemon Go, and I get that. But I think a lot of that had to do with people confusing these titles for the 2019 core RPG that we were expecting at the end of, next year. And so that's not what this is. We're literally getting two additional titles that we weren't expecting. So for that, ultimately it's a plus for me. It's adding something I didn't think I was going to get. It's giving me something to look forward to before the release of, the 2019 core RPG, which is a long way away. So I'm ultimately grateful, and I think fans have something to be happy about here. I think that ultimately this is a really good strategy on the part of Nintendo. They're going to be accomplishing two main things. One, they're creating hype for their big project, which is the 2019 core RPG. This is just a sort of add on to get people to whet their appetites, to get them excited, right? It's probably going to influence a lot of people to want to get a Switch, get them ready, and get them prepared to have all of the equipment they need to be consumers of the 2019 RPG. And that makes Nintendo happy. It's using the first generation. There's a lot of fans attached to that, so it's kind of the perfect strategy in that regards. In addition, the element that people are kind of iffy about, the integration of the Pokemon Go app with it, I think is kind of smart because the Pokemon Go app is kind of a fading trend a bit compared to when it first launched. This might breathe new life into it and give it more longevity a little bit. People will maybe re-download it, want to play it again, so they can use it with their game. And so I think collectively it's a good strategy on the part of Nintendo. So, yes, those were my initial thoughts after having seen the Pokemon Let's Go trailer. Have you seen it? And if so, what do you think? Do you agree with my assessment? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments below and I'll be looking out for those. If you're a fan of my video, please make sure to hit the like button and also the subscribe button so you won't miss any of my future videos. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really hope you like this video. Have a great day, guys. See ya.